Hey guys, I got a question. Somebody asked me, how can I create an unshakable mindset? How do I develop the type of mindset and the type of attitude that comes with confidence, that comes with being assertive, that comes with manifesting what I want, and just being a go-getter? How do I stop living in fear and anxiety, basically? And I found that that was such a beautiful question because it is something that I believe a lot of people struggle with, and I wanted to share a quick message with you because it is so important, and it's a topic that we could talk hours about it, but it comes down to this one thing that I always talk about in most of my videos because it is so important. And I want to share this quote. This quote says, "Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind." Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And if I love this quote because hey guys, somebody asked me, how can I create an unshakable mindset? How can I create this type of attitude, this type of mentality that comes with confidence, with certainty, with assertiveness, with being free to go after what I want and not being like anxious and worried and doubtful all the time? How do I overcome all this doubt and creating that type of mindset that I really want? I thought that was a beautiful question, and I think that's something that most people want and most people are seeking for, and it is something that we need to create, develop with persistence, with consistency. And in this video I want to share how can you get started and what's the most important thing to do. The most important starting point when it comes to creating your the kind of mindset, the type of meaningful and winning mindset and all of those things, is to give up the ideas that you started to believe in the past. Give up your limiting belief, your limiting concept of yourself, the limiting stories that you created, the limiting narrative that you've been believing and telling yourself and rehearsing and living by for so long. Because in reality, we live what we believe, and we all have a story. We all continuously tell ourselves a story. We rationalize, we justify why we are where we are. If we don't like it, if we don't go after what we want, if we procrastinate, if we don't manifest what we want, and all of this, we all find an excuse. We rationalize, we give ourselves reasons, we put ourselves down, we critique ourselves. There's so many ways we do this. And this is the first thing that we need to stop. Because as long as we keep on believing the same things that we used to believe in the past, as long as we continue to relate to ourselves and our abilities and our skills and our talent and what we can do in the same way in the past, if you keep on telling yourself that you are anxious, that you're shy, that you should be like this, that you should be like that, realize that every time you do that, every time you pick on yourself and keep telling yourself what's wrong with you, basically, you keep on reinforcing this. So the first thing, if you want to create this type of mindset that is unshakable and that is actually empowering for you in whatever way that means for you, you need to give up the old story. Stop rehearsing it, stop living it, stop reminding yourself of it, and start creating something new. And that is why I love this quote that says, "Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind." And most of us, when we want to change something, we focus on what we don't want, what we don't like, what's not working. And we keep all our focus there. And we keep asking ourselves, how do I change this? Why is this not working? What's wrong with me? Blah, blah, blah. And then we wonder why we keep on creating the same reality, the same story. It's because our focus, our energy is directed toward the same things over and over again. But nothing will change as long as you don't change the way you think about yourself, the way you relate to yourself, the way you describe yourself, and what you believe about yourself. Because we live what we believe. And this is where we need to start shifting our focus. We need to know exactly the kind of person we want to be, what we want to believe, the new story we want to live, the new person we want to be, the things we want to do, how we want to treat others, and all those kind of things. We need to be very clear, and we need to start focusing on those things. We need to create this new mindset. by nourishing new ideas, new thoughts, new attitudes in your mind. See, you cannot continue to think in your old ways and be transformed. That's madness. The only way you're going to be transformed and transform your mindset and confidence and self-esteem and all of those things that are byproduct is by starting to think differently. And you need to start thinking differently about yourself, about your result, what's possible for you, and you need to be renewed by the renewal of your mind. The type of images you create in your mind, the type of meaning you imagine, the type of decisions you make. Let me tell you a story. You know how they train elephants in Africa? When the elephant is a baby, basically what they do is they tie up the leg with a chain, and the chain is attached to some form of like pick that it's not too big, but it's kind of deep in the ground. And so for a baby elephant, they don't have enough strength to break free from it. Okay? And so that's what they do. They tie it up on one leg, and they put that little piece of wood in the ground, and the elephant is stuck there. Now, for the first few weeks, the elephant is going to break free. It's going to try to break free. It's going to try to pull, to push, and to just break the chain, so to speak. But after a week or 2 or 3, he gives up, he stops. He loses hope and faith, because you see, at that point, the elephant is still too weak. And then he doesn't even try anymore to break free. He accepts his situation, he accepts his limitation, he accepts that when he's at that spot, locked down, this is the way it is. Even when the elephant is fully grown and is able to break free in a second, without even thinking, without even using much energy, he could just rip that whole thing out. He could just rip down the whole house. He's not even trying, because he's already given up to the idea that he's chained, that it doesn't work, and he can't do it. Why am I telling you this? Because we do the same as human beings. Long ago, maybe somebody told you you're stupid, you cannot do it, you're ugly, or whatever, or something happened to you. Or you created a story, or you created a meaning, or you created a sort of personality and identity, a sort of self-image about yourself. And today you're still chained by the same beliefs. Today you're chained by the same beliefs, and you're not even trying to move, because what's the point? This is how I've always been. It feels like normal, it feels like natural, it feels like this is all you can ever be. But realize that you have the power to break free from that chain, just like that. But it starts with the awareness of knowing that, look, this is only an idea. It's an idea that is deeply planted in my mind, yes, that I've deeply reinforced and energized and rehearsed and lived by for maybe a long time. But it doesn't have to stay this way. And it doesn't have to stay this way because you have the choice to choose to renew your mind, to transform by the renewal of your mind, by the new ideas that you create in your mind. You can choose to break that chain by simply starting to believe something else about yourself, about your abilities, about your mind, about everything that it means to you. You can start to choose to believe in yourself, to have faith in your goals. You can choose to be grateful. You can choose to forgive yourself and others. See, you have the choice. And if you want to create that unshakable mindset that we talked about, you need to make a better choice in what you start to think. And you need to start to think differently. And you need to get emotionally involved in those new ideas so that they become your new beliefs. And so that you become free from the old conditioning that is creating the life that you have right now. Because you are where you are because of who you are. It's not somebody else. It's not nothing else. People have contributed to get you here, yes, but where you are is your responsibility. And as long as we don't own up to this responsibility and acknowledge that this is where I am, I take ownership of my life and where I'm going. This is when we become empowered, and this is the first step to creating that unshakable mindset. To know that I can choose where I'm going. But I need to start to choose what I think, how I feel, and what I believe, and especially what you believe about yourself. and especially releasing all those negative pity story, the victim attitude, the victim mentality, the grudges, the anger, the resentment, the jealousy, the envy, all those things. Realize they're only doing one thing: they're draining your energy away from you. And they keep reinstating life where it is. You cannot take things that are not working with you and try to make something work out of it. Let it go. Create something new. Think differently. Think greater. Believe in yourself. Believe in your goal. Believe that you already have an unshakable mindset, that you're confident, that you're good enough, that you can choose and decide the type of person you want to be. And this is something you have to do with consistency, with repetition, with determination. It's not something I'm just going to do one day and, it's done forever. There is no fast track to self-mastery and creating that mindset. You're creating that mindset by working at it every single day, by embodying the person you want to be until it feels so natural that you don't even have to think about it again, until you have to grow again and reinvent yourself again. So what is it that's been limiting you in your thinking, in your feeling, in your attitudes? Be very clear about those things and let them go. And choose new beliefs. Choose to think in a new way. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel? Who do I want to be? How do I want to treat myself? How do I want to talk to myself? How do I want to talk to other people? How do I want to wake up? How do I want to see life differently? How do I want to show up in my life differently and start showing up this way? Don't wait for people or the life or everything to fall into perfect place. Show up, do it, and then things will start to fall in place. And that's how you create an unshakable mindset. Done.